Oh, look, not me not forgetting to press the tab. Hello. Welcome to the stream, y'all. We are back with another episode of The Healing Circle with myself and one of my bestest friends and an amazing health and wellness coach. Brittany Neely. Yes, she's here, aka the Spud Witch. Real quick, if you're catching our streams live on Twitch, please contribute in either of our chats. Okay, let me. Oh, DJ got my phone. I'll shout out Spuddy. Right, here it is. This is happening. It's happening, y'all. If you're catching this replay on YouTube, on either one of our channels, please subscribe to both of our YouTube channels. They'll be linked in the chat. Both of our YouTube channels will be in the description of each of our videos. So, y'all, I need y'all to. Good morning, Yama. Yama is here. Jones is here.
Good morning.
Right. All right, B, go ahead and start us off. I'm already feeling frazzled.
Oh, I feel you on that. I got my water right here.
Right.
Good morning, y'all. So today we're going to be talking about emotions and why do we feel like we have to hide how we feel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the topic for. Not the baby trying to. He like, can I have some?
Right.
So that's the topic for today. Because I know in our past streams we've been touching on emotions and feeling everything and letting it all out. But mostly, I really want to dig deep into why we as Black women hide a lot of our emotions and, why. Get to the root of why we do that.
Absolutely. So, thank you, Yama. Yama said, I love looking at y'all. We appreciate you, Yama. We love looking at you. So, yeah, just as we mentioned, there's a lot of... I'm not even really sure what else to call it other than holding it in or holding it back as far as our emotions. And I know that for me, a lot of it came from not seeing really anything other than a few solitary emotions, being portrayed by like my mom, my aunts, the matriarchs in my family. So really for me, it came from just not knowing what other emotions were out there in the first place. Like what else could you even experience or feel other than, frustration or anger or, happiness or contentment or... I mean, that's it to a certain extent. Like, sadness wasn't really a thing, you know what I mean, that I saw anybody portray. I would see people, like, grieve, but not necessarily be sad. Also, real quick, if you're in the chat in my stream, please say hello to DJ, because he's tapping my arm. Like, hi, Jones. I want to be acknowledged. Welcome in, Raylene. But, yeah, what do you... how do you feel about that, Spuddy? Do you feel like that was true for you, too?
You're right, Spud.
Absolutely. Like, in my family, I would say all of the Black women, older women that I was around, they portrayed as, being strong and, I rarely saw my mom cry, but when I did, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
So, but my grandma, I don't think I've ever, to this day, I don't think I've seen my grandma cry. On my mom's side, so my mom. I've never seen my dad mom cry. Like it's like they do what they have to do and don't complain about it and just live life, going through the motions.
Right. Yeah.
Without a lot of emotion. Like
exactly.
You'll see them get mad or frustrated, of course, but other than that, like it. Really didn't see a lot of emotions. Now me, on the other hand, I let my son see when I'm crying. I let him know when I'm upset, why I feel the way I feel, like I'm emotional, and because he's the same way. Like we were both in there crying, watching a kids movie. I was like, why did you want to watch this movie? And he was like, because it was good. And we both in there crying.
The struggle is real. But it's beautiful to be able to share that with him, you know what I mean? And not feel like as soon as you feel the inkling of tears coming on, then you have to go hide, Yama said, I feel like we hide how we feel to either make ourselves more palatable to others or because others won't necessarily care, so what's the point? And then she followed up with, I can relate to that. Now that I think about it, I've never seen my mother or my grandparents feeling many emotions. Yeah. I definitely feel the palatable part as far as sometimes it feels like people express concern when they see us crying or expressing any other kind of emotion, but in reality, it's not genuine. So sometimes just experiencing that once can make you feel like, all right, I'm done. You know, like people don't really care. They're just kind of doing this as a show to make themselves seem like whatever. But it's not genuine that they're actually asking about how I feel.
Right. And I've had friends or family to come up to me and just start, pouring out how they feel. But meanwhile, they go every day just like I do, like at smiling, like nothing is wrong. They're not going through anything and trying to be there for everybody else. So I completely get it.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that completely, but I'm trying to change the way that we do things, and especially
Right.
me myself. I can only work on me first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I I make sure I show all of my emotions. I don't care if people think it's acceptable or not. Like I'm entitled to feel how I feel, right? So from me growing up and being taught to hold stuff in, don't let it bother you,
Mm-hmm. It's
like
not that
all yeah,
serious.
it's not that serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't be a crybaby, don't be doing all that crying. Like, it's just a lot of things that I used to hear growing up. So
Mm-hmm.
now I'm like, if I would have been more emotional, then maybe I would be more open to communication and be, better at communicating, period, in general.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
And
I think,
Fergie says, it's only recently that I've seen my mother cry. Before she said she would hold everything in and cry when she was away from everyone else. I know my mom does
mm-hmm,
that.
mm-hmm,
I know she absolutely does.
yep,
Um, and to what you said, B, like now you're giving yourself the permission to just feel. And it's less about, I feel like in giving yourself permission to feel, the next step in the process is trying to understand or acknowledge, okay, what am I feeling? You know what I mean? But first you have to like let it come out.
right,
So even just you saying that out loud, I'm going to feel how I feel. Whatever is going to come out is going to come out. And, y'all going to get these feelings, okay? What y'all going to get
absolutely.
is these feelings. And if it makes you uncomfortable, then you can remove yourself. You know what I mean?
And can
Right. I'm not here to make you comfortable. I'm not here to be palatable, like Yama said to you all the time. Like, I'm here to just exist and to grow and to learn, you know? Would you say, B, that after you gave yourself permission, you started becoming more aware of the different emotions that you were feeling?
absolutely. Like I became more aware that it was normal to feel
Mm-hmm.
how I felt. Um, and I started noticing how society or how our peers or family has really, I really can't say taken away, but driven us from showing all of our emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Because we, Black women, Black people in general, we are always mad, angry, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I feel like ladies, women in general, Black women, we're supposed to not show anger as much, right?
Right.
Because we're already known as angry Black women.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't care. Like everybody had we're human beings. We're gonna feel all of the emotions. So why is it the one time that I do feel anger, like I feel like I have to hold it in, I can't express myself because then I'll be known for as the angry Black woman. So I had to get to the point where I didn't care about what people thought about me first before,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if I'm mad, I'm mad. If I'm angry, I'm
Right.
angry.
Right.
That doesn't mean that's who I am. I had an
Right.
emotion, you know.
Yeah. And I hear what you're saying as far as, it not necessarily being society takes it away from us, but they kind of, the culture in the world that we live in kind of deems what's acceptable or not acceptable,
Hmm.
right? Like, it's not acceptable to just be walking down the street and burp in somebody's face. Like, that's not,
Right.
not acceptable, right? Like, it's rude, it's gross, it smell funky. You know what I mean? Like, it's not acceptable. Um, And if you do that to somebody, their expression and the way that they react is going to show that it's not acceptable. So just like you said, it's not necessarily that people take away our ability to feel, but the way that they react when we display how we feel, then we're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that anymore because, it drives people away or it makes people feel some type of way or whatever. Yama says, my niece is a very emotional person and wears her emotions on her sleeve. And when she's around, I have to control myself and stop myself from telling her to stop all that crying and try to understand her emotions. What would Doña say or do runs through my head often. Yeah, but you better stop it. You better stop it. And then Raylene asks, are there any emotions you felt that you should hide away or deal with first before you talk to people? Basically, like any feelings you feel you should isolate yourself because they're to this or to that. That's a good question. That's a really good question. Do you want to answer or you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. So,
only because I'm more talking.
Right. So, in reading this question, the first thing I think of is my friend Verity. My friend Verity is a person who feels things very deeply. She's been told that she is intense. And in that, she's kind of allowed herself to kind of shrink down and not express things as fiercely or whatever as she normally would because, again, it's not palatable. It makes people feel some type of way. It makes them uncomfortable. It makes them, etc. So that's the first person I thought of when you asked this question as far as, dealing with your emotions or isolate yourself because people have labeled you as to this or to that. Like she's been called too intense and to this and to that. For me, I don't think I have any emotions that I have to, well, sometimes I feel like it's like an escalation. Like if I am frustrated and that frustration turns to anger and then that anger turns to like fury, that I have to deal with on my own. Like once I've gotten to that point of escalation all the way to the tippy top of like FU mountain, then I gotta be at that peak by myself. I can't be at that peak with anybody else. Otherwise, please stop.
Be alone.
You're making a lot of noise. Thank you. Because I can't interact with anybody while I'm at that point. Like I need to be by myself so I can do some breathing exercises, journal, whatever it is to get me down at least a little bit so I can have a conversation with whoever it is, that I need to have a conversation with. It might be myself, Sometimes we get ourselves there, like people who have road rage. Essentially, you are taking yourself to the top of that mountain because, unless somebody's actually yelling at you, most of the stuff that we encounter while we're driving that we judge other people's behavior is all perceived. Like, oh, that person cut me off because they don't care. That person did, when in reality, that's not, we have no facts to support that. It's just that person, they change lanes really closely to you. That's a fact. But the fact that they did it because, they don't care or they, yada, yada, yada. And that's when black moms would be like, that's why your car looked like that. But anyways, we...
That'd be my first thing right there. Oh, you used to pull them out in front of people. Oh, okay.
Exactly. That's why you ain't got no bumper, right? Like, that's the black mom coming out, like, justifying, because it's funny because it really be like that, too. It really be like that. It'd be like people who drive really fancy cars be the ones that are like, oh, super smooth. The ones who keep their blinker on for, like, 6 miles.
Oh, my God.
Because, and then the ones who, in the hoopties are chilling with no bumper, one side mirror, a door that's a different color. They're the ones driving all crazy. But anywho, I would say, yeah, like the tippy top or the low. Like if I'm feeling really, really vulnerable and like deeply sad, like I feel like now I've learned that, oh, I love you too, DJ. I've learned that I need to sit with myself in that emotion. And in either situation, it doesn't feel good. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel good to sit with myself. But I definitely feel like that's something that I've learned in just my journey to be more emotionally intelligent. I'm going to catch up on the chat real quick. Make sure I didn't miss anything. So Raylene asked, upon the top of the shelf? Yes, boo. Yes. Yeah. Raylene says, yes, I feel that too. I've literally been at the peak today. And had to be like, let me just take a second before I spill onto other people. Right. Or like what Backyard Garden Joe said the other day. Heal so you don't bleed on people who didn't cut you. Right? So, same thing. Sir Rhetorical says the healing circle sounds ominous. It is ominous. Oopsie. Oh no, I clicked the thing. We're gone. Okay, we're back. I'm sorry. Anywho. But yeah, B, if you want to share how you feel.
Yes, so I was gonna answer the same question. For me, it's when I'm overwhelmed. Like I'm already overwhelmed, and I'm the type of person like I only wanna, spread my well. I'm a perfectionist. We already know this, okay? Y'all already know this, right? So I like to really be in a good mood. I don't want to spill any negative energy or spread any negative energy or whatever. So if I'm already feeling overwhelmed, like stressed out, or like okay, I can't. For one, I don't want to talk to people because I want to protect the energy, my energy. Uh oh. I want to protect my energy, and I also want to protect the other's person energy. And if I know that person already has a habit of saying irritating things, I'm not gonna talk to them that day. Like we just gonna, omit conversation and keep our friendship for a little while longer. Because if I get on the phone with you and I'm already irritated, I'm already overwhelmed, and then I know that you the type to play too much, like I can't do it. So
Right.
boundaries.
Protect your peace. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Boundaries. So yeah, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'll lower my communication. Um yeah.
I feel
That's
that. I feel that. And I think overwhelm is definitely like another like peak kind of
mhm.
emotion. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's, the lower level is, irritation. And then,
Mhm.
that goes into a little something, and then that goes into a little something. And then, but the funny thing is, like, especially as mothers and parents, like, we can hit that overwhelm and that overstimulation quickly. Like, sometimes it just happens. Sometimes it's in the series of just a couple seconds. Like, DJ asked me for something, and then he accidentally knocked something over. And then I, like, stub my toe and trip. I'm done. Like, Mount Kilimanjaro is about to explode because there's just so many things that happen in that short amount of time. That's just, yeah. Okay, so really quick. Good morning, Bruce Shocks. Welcome in. Welcome in, Lincoln. Yama asked, what do you guys think it's harder to let go of? Oh, wait. Why do you guys think it's harder to let go of feelings and emotions? Negative ones at that. What do you mean, Yama? Like, when they happen, like kind of brush them off or move on from them? Or like, can you tell me a little bit more about what you mean by letting go? And then Sir
Yeah.
Rhetorical asks, maybe a bit of a simple question. Oh, but what does it actually mean to have what you feel? Okay, Sir Rhetorical,
Okay.
we got you. But go ahead. Do you want to address Yama's question? If you can kind of...
Yeah, I want her to explain what she meant. Like try to avoid feeling the emotion in general, or
Yeah.
try to hurry up and feel the emotion and move on from it.
Right. Or
Because
like...
it's really, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you have to feel it. You have to go through the emotion, because if you suppress it, then it's only going to get worse. So um
Yeah.
yeah, now I embrace my emotions, whether they're angry or whatever, because I know that it's not going to last, forever. So I just embrace how I feel, try to see what made me feel that way, think about it, and I move on. But I do not suppress or try to walk around and act like everything is okay and I'm happy and in la la land, living. I don't do that. I don't fake it till I make it anymore. I feel what I feel and say how I feel. Yeah, like with the car thing, if somebody cuts us off and I'm mad over it, why do negative feelings linger longer? If that makes sense. Okay, I feel you,
Mm.
because in reality you would like to chase them down and cuss them out and be like, "Hey, what's wrong with you?
You
Did you
talking,
get
you
your
talking, you
license
talking,
out of
you talking about
Jack
personal
Box?"
experience, B? You talking
Yeah,
from...
no, 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 no. I don't do that. I'm not about to chase nobody. Now, if somebody follow me, that's a whole nother story. But I'm not about to follow nobody. I don't do to nobody that I don't want done to me. Okay, so
B
we
said,
not
look,
following no
I
cars.
don't, I don't, I don't provoke, But if you trying to come down,
But look,
I
don't
stay
come for me
ready.
unless I send for you, okay?
I come ready.
Run up, get done up. That's all I got to say. But but yeah, I feel you on that, Yama.
DJ.
Look, all I can say
And just
is
screaming in the background.
express your emotion, cuss them out in your car, but don't chase them and try to beat them down. Like we all know that there are different types of beings. I say it that way. There are different types of beings on this world, on this earth, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, everybody is not built the same. Everybody don't think like we think. Everybody don't operate like we operate. Some
It's true.
stuff is not common sense to people.
That
Some people
part.
have, yeah, some people have to be told, taught, or, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Um, I'm dying. Yama said, "Try me, beloved," in my Doña voice.
Right. Try me,
And you
beloved.
know what? Bruchak said, "Is it wild that I don't get road rage?" You know what, Bruchak? I don't really get road rage. I'll get, I don't know. It's so interesting. Sometimes it's more of like the things that really like irritate me are like the safety stuff.
Hmm.
Like if I'm driving down the road and you just, and I always I always like justify it like this. I'm driving down the road. There's a shopping center to my right. Someone pulls out in front of me, right, and just cuts me way too close. Then they start driving super slow, and I look at my rearview mirror and there's no one behind me. I'm like, "Sir or madam, why couldn't you just wait for me to pass by? I got two children in my car." You
Yeah,
know what I
that's
mean?
my
Like
thing.
that's
Yeah.
what those safety stuff. But the funny thing is, I have practiced and practiced and practiced, and when people irritate me, I'll be like, "Go ahead then, friend. Like, what you doing, friend?" I always call him friend. What? Really, friend? Really? That's really okay. And then
Yeah.
for some reason that kind of helps a little bit. DJ,
Yes.
I need you to go hang out, dude. Do you want your water? Here.
Yeah, I do.
And I need you to stop yelling, okay? Because everybody can hear you yelling and screaming in the background. Talk about woo, yeah.
Or-
Anywho,
yeah.
but yeah, yeah. And then I hope I answered your question, Yama. My opinion is that I honestly believe that our quote unquote angry emotions last longer because people fuel them. Like
Mhm.
when you're feeling good, who's hyping you up? You know what I mean? Like you might have a few people in your circle. Like I know B will hype me up. I know Jones will hype me up. Shit, even Yama and Raylene will hype me up. Right? Look, I wish I had your sound alert right now, B. But when people are feeling some type of like feeling really happy, ecstatic, elated, all those kinds of feelings, a lot of times people won't hype them up. But when you're feeling down or crummy or frustrated, everybody like, yeah, that person is wrong, and yada yada yada. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's so much more acceptable to kind of feel that. You should go after them. B, let's go chase them down. Let's go.
Right.
B, don't you got a bat in your trunk? B, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's what people I believe will kind of push you more towards, other than like, which we should, and nobody like. Let's say B finishes something, like she's working on some merch, which she has merch, y'all. If y'all want some merch, y'all better. Anyways, let's say she's working on some merch, and I know she's been working on it, and she finishes something. I'm like, yes, B, yes, yes. You know, I'm hyping her up, doing the robot and whatnot. I mean, obviously, all this is like virtual, and I'm trying to, portray my hypeness through text and emotes and
Right.
gifs. But we don't have it like that's not something that people do regularly. I don't feel. I think the people in our circle do, you know what I mean? The people that love us and really care for us and support us do. But the majority of society, when things are going bad, because again, misery loves company. And I believe that's why those negative emotions linger so much longer. Joe say, yes, queen.
Yes, queen.
And then way back a little while ago, Sir Rhetorical asked, what we mean by hiding our emotions. So I think B and I, like, have the same perspective on this as far as, being Black women in America. It is, even like Yama mentioned, it's easier and more palatable for Black women to kind of be neutral. People expect us to be the angry Black woman, and typically they label us as that when we display any kind of emotion, like especially in the workplace. If we're frustrated, passionate, whatever, then we're angry Black women. You know
Yes,
what I
and they
mean?
feel threatened. Oh my God, that word. Feel
Yes.
threatened.
Yes.
Baby, I
Oh,
have yet to threaten you, okay?
you will know. You
You
will
will
know
know,
when I
sweetheart.
threaten you. My face
You will
gonna look
know.
just like this, but you
Very
best
calm,
believe, yeah, because this is the Black
soft
Mama
spoken.
face. We all
Hmm.
got this, okay? You gonna know when I say something to you, and you should feel threatened. You gonna know,
Yes,
okay?
you're gonna know
My
the
voice
difference.
gonna get softer and lower. I'm gonna
Talk real
sound like
sweet
I'm.
to you.
Come here, sugar honey. I see you. Come here, baby. Let me tell you something.
Tell you something real
If they call
quick.
you baby,
Oh,
it might be a problem. It might be a real good
no,
thing, and
it's
it might
it's
be a problem.
it's a sweetheart for me.
Right.
It's a sweetheart for me. That's why I like for people to call me sweetheart. Don't call me sweetheart. I use sweetheart differently than you use it.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm getting lost in the chat. All right. I might have to scroll up a little bit. But go ahead, B. You share some stuff. I'm gonna see if I missed anything now that I got my phone back.
Okay. Let me see. Those around us definitely heighten those emotions. I was just talking to Missy about the topic the other day, and I said I'm not living the strong black woman life anymore as a whole. Yeah. Wait, backyard garden, Joe. Why was that so hard for me to register? I walk around with the damn blank face, cause when I'm there for a minute too. Um, Wait, I don't like that. Sound like you're gonna hit me when I get closer. Oh, Yema was talking about the I only caught the last part, but I remember her saying something about the cars. She's not a road rager, but the cars that be speeding and swerving in and
Mm,
out angers her
right.
the most. And I feel that because here in Texas, you have a lot of the people with race cars or fast
Mm-hmm.
fancy cars, and they be on the freeway like in the what's the far left lane or the far right lane where you're supposed to pull over if you're having car trouble,
Mm-hmm.
flying with their little LED lights on the bottom of their cars
Right.
and everything. Like it's like they don't care. They live in fast and furious life.
Right. Or if anybody else has to suffer in the you know what I mean, in the meantime. That's the
Hmm.
struggle. Um Joan says, I do suck at driving, other people do. Oh, I don't suck at driving, other people do. It's true. And
Right.
I like what Raylene said up in the chat about, we are hoping that people can like meet our version of bare minimum. And I think that's the biggest thing is, oh, we have to learn, just like B said a couple times, common sense is not common. And our version of the bare minimum all comes from our perspective. Like, one time DJ, we were in the car in the drive-through, right? And we're sitting in the drive-through, and typically you sit in a drive-through, like it's a normal
It's
thing. You
normal.
gotta, yeah,
Hmm.
you gotta hang out a little bit. We stop, so we order, and then we pull up, and there's a car in front of us, and he's like, "Come on, people," and I'm like, "Sir," I said, "What made you say that?" And he said, "I don't know or nothing or whatever." And then a couple days later, we dropped some with my mom, and that's the kind of stuff that she be saying while she in the car.
Oh.
Yes, so he's just repeating it based on like this. If he thinks the situation calls for it, then he repeats it. You know, when in reality, I'm like, friend, like we're in the drive-through, DJ. Like
Right.
it's okay. Like no one's swerving, no one's nothing. The funny thing is, he will call me out. Like sometimes I'll like, driving in traffic and someone brakes, and you gotta really slam, and I'll apologize to him like, well, I'm sorry I had to hit the brakes so fast or hard or whatever. Or he'll call me out, or if he hears somebody honking, he's like, "Mommy, did you beep?" I'm like, "No, I didn't beep. It wasn't me." So he's aware of like what's happening in the car, but he definitely is very, he's absorbing all those little things and all those little cues. So think about how that would, if I were to continue to move like the way my mom does in the car, while driving, how is that gonna um, impact how he perceives other drivers when he begins to drive? You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's where our version of like, road rules or common sense or everything say he's a little judge. He is.
Yes.
But that's
Mine too.
how, yes.
I guess that's how it is because he be like, my son, he'll be, are you serious? Are you serious? I be like, what you see on your side?
Baby Spud.
What, what happened? Are you
Baby
serious?
Spud.
Did
I
you
love
see
it.
that? I said, no, I didn't see it. It was
Right.
behind me. Like, I didn't see
You
it.
like, Mama, turn
Are you
around.
serious?
Turn
Are
around.
you serious?
We
If
gotta
oh
go
my goodness,
back.
if we on a long road, which there are a lot of,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll make a couple of turns, it's busy, okay? Everybody sometimes have to go to the same area or whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody's following us. I was like, what? That car behind us has been behind us for a long time.
Baby Spud. Baby
I'm like,
Spud.
I promise we're okay.
Right, right. We are safe.
We are okay.
See, now Yama says, I kind of think we're past the common sense phrasing. It's pure ignorance at this point because people know better. There's no way you cannot know better. And that is true. However, how distracted are
How?
people?
Yeah.
People are mad distracted. First of all,
Oh
I'm going to
yeah.
let y'all know multitasking is a lie. There's no such thing as multitasking. You can switch tasks quickly, but
Right.
multitasking is not a thing. Like, literally not a thing. So there may be people who believe that they can switch tasks quickly while operating, one ton,
Motor vehicle.
right,
Right.
death machine. They cannot. They cannot. But yeah, it's true. And Sir Rhetorical says people should know better than to get distracted. It's true.
Right.
That's absolutely true. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, how do we typically learn lessons? Typically, we learn lessons by some sort of consequence, right? Jones, you don't multitask. I'm sorry, baby. You're a really phenomenal task switcher, and I commend you because Jones really is. He be popping in and out of people's streams and like really be there, like be engaged, like he was there the whole time. It's
Right.
amazing. I really don't know how he does it, but he do. Um,
You are me too, Raylene. I used to think I was a multitasker too, but then
right,
I was like, cause
right,
I would start a whole bunch of things and
yeah.
wouldn't finish. I'm like, this is not it.
But
Go.
so if you're driving and you're multitasking in the vehicle, if you aren't literally getting into some sort of accident or there's some sort of negative consequence every single time you do it, you're gonna continue doing it. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if someone calls you out. You would literally have to get like a traffic ticket or like bump into a fire hydrant or you know what I mean? Like there would have to be some sort of negative consequence every single time to get you to learn. For some people it only takes one time. However, Grover has told me stories of people in his hometown who literally this kid was like 20 years old. I think he was on his third DUI. He drove into someone's house. And the only reason why he didn't continue driving is because they literally took his driver's license away for 10 years. People like that exist. People like that exist. People like that. I mean, there are people who have little to no moral compass, you know what I mean, in the whole right and wrong arena. And I feel like that's a lot where, common sense comes from or is like supported or whatever. Right. Baby.
That is wild.
What do you
That's
mean?
crazy.
Look, talk to the people.
What's
Talk to
wrong?
TT.
What's wrong, TT baby?
Fix my baby, y'all.
Come on.
Fix my baby.
No.
What is
Come,
it?
yeah, come to TT. Come on. Oh, he said,
Oh,
please, please, I'm coming. Let
right.
me catch this flight real quick.
I don't know. He's so fussy. What do you need?
Let me catch this flight real quick.
Right.
Oh, see the little pumpkin. Yes,
Let me
bro.
let me
Yeah,
max out
that's
this
my
credit card real
nephew.
quick, okay? We gonna do this. I don't need credit cards. I could be in debt. I don't care.
Let me go show a thigh or something.
Right. Talking about thigh stop. Look. Y'all trying to see something? Anyways, look, we got a little off topic.
No.
But yeah, common sense is not common. I feel like we kind of slowly migrated to the road rage topic, but it was totally valid because there are some people who can do really really well as far as managing their emotions and like every other situation except when they're in the car. It's miraculous. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I wish I could describe it or understand it or explain it, but I can't. But there are people like that who can, they can be in the street or not in the street. They could be at the store. People yell at them, no problem. You know what I mean? But as soon as they get behind the wheel and in that car, it's like all bets are off. They turn into a different person. So, anywho, back
So,
to our regular topic.
would you? I know, right? So, would you say that a lot of people, or society find it normal for black women to be more angry over happy. Like I feel like there's no talk at all when you see a black woman happy and thriving and you know, but soon as a black woman get mad because something happened and she has a a right to be upset or angry. Like if anything happened to my kid, look, let me tell you, it's a whole nother story. That's why he's on school now, okay? But it's like they expect that of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to my son's school to talk to his teacher
Mm-hmm.
about what was going on, him being bullied and
Right, right, right.
everything,
Mm-hmm.
and all of this, right? So tell me why I'm very aware of my surroundings. I don't know if she had the pepper spray in the classroom on the top shelf for our meeting or
Mm-hmm.
in general because
Mm-hmm.
everything that be going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, in the last time I came in here, I don't remember that being up there.
Right.
But because you called for this meeting to talk about this subject, I feel like you had it for me. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. But I'm like, was that really necessary? So the minute
Right.
I would have showed any kind of anger or anything, like you would have felt threatened,
Right.
and that would have gave you a right to have it. And my thing wasn't I really didn't care if she had it for me, but my thing was, you have that in the classroom. What if it got knocked over and the kid picked it
Right. I
up
was just about
and
to say that
sprayed
is
it in the
not
eye? Yeah.
at
So,
all safe.
but with everything going on, I understand having it in a locked drawer or something. But
Yeah.
if it's visible to me, it was visible to kids because they see
Exactly.
everything.
And you know they real creative when they want to try and get something.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Kid will climb on a chair, make a stack of chairs as a ladder so quick. Like,
They
don't play
sure
with them.
will.
And that's, but yeah, I agree. And there's been so many situations. Real quick, I'm gonna read Sir Rhetorical's chat. Sir Rhetorical says, I mean, common sense is only common when it's commonly taught, which the connotations of common sense dictate to be unnecessary. Right? Unintentionally making common sense uncommon. I love that. And it's true. It's absolutely true. Um, my biggest frustrations when it comes to right, if only that teacher had common sense. Um, Tom and Jerry that ish. Exactly. Children will Tom and Jerry all kinds of just be tomfoolery and fuddruckery all over the place. Um, but there's been so many situations, and I what you're saying, Spuddy, I completely agree with as far as black women being almost expected to like pop off and be this and be that. And one of the very first streams that I did before I really started getting on this train of like having these chats every day was that black women have been betrayed by the media. And
Mhm.
that is one way where black women have been betrayed by the media because if you go on YouTube right now and look up black women, just type that, nothing else, and go to like the search by the most views, the videos that you're going to see the most are black women being disrespected. You're going to see a couple of music videos that happen to have black women in the title, just randomly. But the videos that are like by people are black women being like yelled at, threatened, disrespected, berated, and those are the videos with the most views, right? So I
Mhm.
mean, naturally, if I'm attacking B, I would hope, if I'm attacking anybody, but if I'm attacking B, I hope that she would defend herself. You know what I mean? I
Right.
hope that she would pop off. I hope that she would clap back or,
Right.
insert black term here. But I would
Right.
hope that she does that. So to see those videos have the most views and people say, oh, well, this is just how we, this is just how we perceive black women because this is how they always are. No, this is just what people always record of them, right? There are depictions of black women actually just being normal ass people,
Right.
winning, we're the most educated group in the entire nation, I believe, or maybe
That's what
globally,
they
right? Like there are
educated.
all these beautiful, wonderful accolades that are attributed and connected to black women, but it's not drama. That doesn't get the people going. That doesn't get the people talking.
Right.
So Rhetorical says stereotypical represents the people who aren't white men in the media. Dude, that's crazy. Since when? But it's true. Like that's what people see. So that's what they want to. As soon as and like B said, like any kind of inkling of what that teacher could have perceived as threatening. You know what I mean? Like which could have been anything. We all know that again, given what we've seen in the media, Anything can be perceived as a threat. From me reaching in my car and grabbing a hairbrush to the latest one was this man, this elementary teacher. I forget his name, but I'm upset that we even have another damn hashtag. This man who was a teacher who got into a car accident, I forget what state he was in, called the police for support after the accident. They handcuffed him, tased him so many times that he went into cardiac arrest. And he called the police because he needed support. Now, again, this is the only side of the story that I know and have seen. Perhaps there is an other side, but just the fact that you tase that's not your job as a police officer, point blank, period. Your job is not to tase someone to the point of cardiac arrest. We're not even going to get into that, but still. These are the things that we are seeing in the media. These are the things that are being perpetuated and going viral and all of these things. And here we are, two black women having a phenomenal conversation, about mental health. And we do this regularly. You know what I mean? We are life coaches. We are here to literally heal our community. But life coaches don't go viral. Nope. You know what I mean? Life coaches don't go viral unless they're white, honestly, and they say something that's so astonishing and so groundbreaking that, oh my goodness, that just goes against...
copy and paste something that's so astonishing, so groundbreaking. I'm like, why is it more groundbreaking when she say the exact same thing that I said?
Right.
Or she did the exact same thing that I did.
Exactly. Yama says, I agree. I feel like if anything, we have the most reason... Hold on, Yama.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
We have the most reason to be that way, though. We're the most criminalized and criticized, and drama and negativity breeds engagement and views. It absolutely does. So Rhetorical says, it's actually one of the biggest reasons why I really like and love Simon. It was a great romantic comedy that just happened to be about two gay guys instead of a film about two gay guys. Oh, that happened to be a romantic comedy. I like that. Weird to me that we're seen as the most violent when everyone else is violent towards us. Absolutely. Raylene says, bless you, baby. Raylene says, but the thing people don't realize is that the angry black woman, parentheses, a small amount where they are like that, parentheses, thing is also in every other race. Exactly. Like, it's basically a Karen. I mean, a mean person in every race, every group, but they only focus on mean people in the black community when it's a human. What about all the abusive white CEOs? Right. Yeah. Shaka says, listen, I can relate to this so much. I had a situation with my husband one day, and I wanted him out of the house. I called the police for them to remove him, and I swear to God, I was arrested and spent the night in jail from the whole situation. We are criminalized in every aspect for no reason. Exactly. Society is defined by color, not intelligence. Exactly. And what Raylene said, about a Karen, it's true. Because, I mean... And again, I'm not a part of this culture, but I can share what I know about perception. Like, Indian, as far as the country of India, Indian mothers are tyrants from what I've seen. You know what I mean? Like, the perception of an Indian mother is that they are very, very strict. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They are very, like, this is it and that's it. Like my way or the highway type stuff. But again, I can't speak from that perspective and how I see Indian women in the media because I'm not an Indian woman. Right. All I can really attest to is the way that we are represented in every single aspect of everything.
Right.
Excuse me. And yeah, Shaka, if you need us, we got you. Still dealing with today. The whole experience was traumatizing. It sounds like it, where you reach out for support and you're met with, I'm pretty sure you did something wrong. Let's go ahead and, you know what I mean? And so Rhetorical says, or the Catholic priests, right? Oops. Right. So it's, but I mean, all of this is just more evidence and support as to why we hide how we feel.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we should, because as we can tell from experience, they're gonna look at us how they want to look at us anyways, regardless of what we do.
Right. That part.
For your own sanity.
Yeah.
Express your emotions.
Do
to
it.
hell with them and what they think and their opinions, because they're gonna have one regardless. I mean, everybody have their opinions, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. Just don't say nothing to me.
Right. And if you need to say place to express yourself, we got you.
We got you.
We got you for sure. Raylene says, also in Chinese culture, right, tiger moms. But society can't say there's a handful of bad people in every group, and instead, only say it's black women. Right. Exactly.
Okay,
Yes. Go ahead.
tiger moms.
Mm-hmm.
Educate me. What's tiger moms?
Tiger moms are like Chinese moms, similar to Indian moms. From what I understand, is they're the same way as far as
Oh, strict and
yeah. And so you got to consider the fact that, and if Grover were here, he'd be educating us. Um, China is one of the oldest countries in existence, and I feel, from what I understand and what I know, just my opinion, Chinese culture is very, very strong. Like, it's shoved down your throat from
oh
generation to,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So, given the fact that it is shoved down your throat from generation to generation, those ideals and those beliefs are still very much like supported and alive in China
Mm-hmm.
and in Chinese people. So, yeah, tiger moms are like, I want to say it was a Chinese comedian who was talking about the fact that his parents like literally only cared if he was a doctor. Like, anything else was a waste of time. And he was a comedian.
Oh
He was
my
telling
God.
jokes. Yes. So, just imagine that. Like, when not only your parents and your mother, but every single person in your community and your culture believes that what you're doing makes you a failure. Like,
Right.
how would that weigh on you? You know what I mean? Um, Shaka says, yes, and to know that it was all because of what I look like. I know I was immediately classified as an angry black woman. Exactly. So Rhetorical says, one of my favorite displays of perception about India is people being unaware that India is part of Asia, as if the region is defined by having red pagodas and East Asian eyes. Um, Facts. That's every Chinese comedian at some point. Yeah, that's joked about a lot in the Asian community. Okay. Yeah, but again, educate us because we don't know. We know. I know
Right.
what I see or read or whatever, but yeah, just like you said, Spuddy, just the fact that it exists in every other culture. But so let me ask you this, Spuddy. You only know what you know, exactly. Hey, Nova baby.
Hi, Nova.
Um, so I want to ask you, Spuddy, like, what or who provided the first like safe space for you to, like, after you became comfortable expressing your emotions kind of with yourself, who or where did you feel safest at first to kind of just be who you are and just exist?
That's a good question. Um, that's a really great question. I'm trying to remember that very first moment where I was like, okay, I can be me. I think it's gonna be when I moved here, when I
Okay.
first moved away from my small town
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi,
Right.
and I got away from everybody who knew everything about your family. Your family knew, everybody
Mm-hmm.
family knew everybody, and almost everybody was related, and everybody knew everybody
Right.
business. Like, oh my
Yes.
God. And when I got here and it was like a new environment, I was a new mom and stressed out. I think when the moment I really felt like I could be myself and like let my hair down, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
was when I start working my second. Was it my second job? Well, I was working two jobs at one time, so we're gonna say it was my second job, right?
Okay.
Um, and I became friends with um a couple of people that I started with because it was like this big group of us and we all became close. But as we got further in our training, they ended up separating us into teams, but we still hung out outside of work.
Okay.
I've never been the type to hang out with people that I work with,
Mm-hmm.
so it was kind of different because I was like, okay, I actually like these people.
Yeah.
I
Your
could
friends for
I could have
real.
a conversation with them,
Yeah.
they parents too, or whatever. And some of them I still talk to this day. So um, I think that was the first moment where I felt like I could just be myself because
Yeah.
it was like it wasn't shame or looked down on to be part of or support the LGBTQIA
Mm-hmm.
community, and it was like they didn't care. It wasn't about who you like or what you did, or and it was like, what type of person are you? Like, how do you treat me?
Yeah.
Like, how do you carry yourself? Like, like it was that type of vibe. And ever since, like, I don't know. I feel like some people here are so different than the people from back home. Like, when we first moved here, we would go in stores, and I have my baby in his stroller, and in his car seat is attached to the stroller. Oh, but it would just be random people. Oh my God, let me see the baby. He
Mm-hmm.
is so precious. Look at-" And at first, I'm from small town.
Chill out.
Yeah, exactly. That's your ass up. Don't touch the cover to cover his face. Don't touch that cover, man. I don't know you.
Right.
And like, but everybody was so friendly. And
Mm-hmm.
here my son is. I'm trying to instill in him, stranger danger, but it's so hard because he's friendly too. It's a lot of friendly people here, but I'm like, baby, we don't know though.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so yeah, I think that would be the first time. And I was what, 27? It's
Okay.
27. The first time, like, I felt safe to be who I was. Like, I
Right.
didn't have to have a representative anymore. Put it
Mm-hmm.
that way.
I love that. I love that. The way you described it, as far as having a representative. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Like, and to let people know, like, it might take a while, and that's okay. You don't have to. It doesn't. The first time doesn't have to be when you're like 12 or 18.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just give yourself the time and space, because your example is perfect to remind people that it really does have to do with your environment. Moving to a different environment makes a really, really big difference. And I want you so bad. I want you so bad. Like, we talk about it so often. The wheels are turning. Yama says, my son's dad, honestly speaking. Raylene says, I feel that. Actually, liking people is so rare off the bat. Exactly. And then Yama said, when we moved in together and I was trying to act so perfect that I was frazzled trying to juggle everything. And he had to sit me down and tell me that I'm not at home or around his family and I don't have to put on a show. Gradually, I started unboxing myself. I love that. And I love that he, excuse me, recognized that in you, Yama, and kind of
Mhm.
gave you permission and reminded you that this is the space for you to just be who you are, you
Yeah,
know?
that's beautiful. I wish I would have had the strength to do that. Like, I would think, it was kind of a trick. Like, that was my mindset.
Yeah.
Like, you really don't want me to just be me, because if I be me, you gonna think I'm crazy, and we
Right.
gonna we don't. But now
Exactly.
I embrace my crazy. I don't care nothing about it. I don't care what you think about me. You like it or you don't. It is what it is. It's me. Like,
Right.
I like being different. Who wants to be? What's normal? Who wants to do
Right.
that?
Right. It's true. It's true. And I would say
Mm-mm.
for me, it really, really happened, honestly, when I met Grover. Um, but even still to this day, like, after being together, you know, 2 going on 3 years, I still find myself wanting to apologize, especially like at the end of the day when he comes home from work and he's excited to tell me stuff, and I'm just like done. Like, I'm done in that moment, like I'm overstimulated, I'm overwhelmed, I'm just like done peopling for a moment.
Right.
And after a while, like after, he starts talking to me or just kind of gives me a little bit of time to kind of, I don't know, get my second wind or something, then I'm good and I can listen and I can be present to what he's talking to me about. But I can remember so many times that, he and I are just literally driving in the car and the song comes on and I just start crying. And it was never a conversation of, oh no, like, don't cry. Oh my goodness. What do I got to do
Yeah.
to fix this, or, like, to make this stop? It was just,
Right.
do you want to talk about it? Or what was it that made you cry? And I would tell him, like, I don't know, just something about this song, something about the memories it brings up. Y'all know that music is very, very, it's almost like nostalgic, like a scent, or you know what I mean, or like a
Hmm.
picture or something. Like, music does that to you.
Yeah.
So whatever it was that came up during that time just felt, it just washed over me, and I started crying. And that was also when I first really realized that I don't just cry because I'm upset, because I cried a lot in the transition of ending my previous relationship and connecting with Grover. Like, I had a lot of tears. And I think that's when I really first started giving myself permission to just cry, you know, because my mom is very much that kind of person. Like, if you start crying, it's like, oh, you need a minute, you know, like, you need a, you know. Now she does it, and she's like, hey, do you need a minute? But previously, well, she says she does. I haven't actually seen it in action. But previously, it was like, oh, you got to stop. Like, that's not going to work, because she instantly thought, like, tears were manipulative. And I'm like, no, sometimes they just kind of happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, they just kind of happen. Really quickly, so Rhetorical says, I'm trying to think, but I've never really had that in person. Always been dancing around my father's ideologies and religion. The relief I get is on the web mostly. I feel that's so Rhetorical. And I'm glad that you at least have some relief, even if it is on the web or virtually. But I definitely hope that, you know, you can connect with someone in person sometime in the future. It doesn't have to be right now, because, you know, they're going to come into your life when you need them the most. But at least just be open to being, you know, who you are. And then the person that can handle you.
Right.
You know, whether it be just a really great platonic friend or a romantic partner, whoever it is, they can handle you. They gonna find you. Raylene says, my relief is my boyfriend. It's so refreshing and healing to just fully be yourself and make random noises and have him see all sides of me that no one else has ever seen. Exactly. Right. Having someone take that in and accept it without hesitation. Before that, my relationship relief was also on the web in random places. Exactly. Right. Yeah, and like Joan said, that connection is a great feeling. Like, I'm so grateful that Jones, B, me, and Grover had the opportunity to spend time in person. I mean, it was like,
me too.
Oh my goodness, it just felt like home. It felt like home immediately.
It felt like I knew y'all forever.
Immediately. As soon as we got to the hotel and picked y'all up, it was like home. Like, what we trying to do tonight, fam? Like,
right.
It don't even matter. You know what we did, y'all? We drank a little bit and we ate cake. We watched movies. We played games. It was legit like the fam was just coming over for game night. Yeah, we did, Raylene. We have one night of bliss together.
I know, and I cut. Okay, so I was so desperate to go on a vacation, and I was like, I'm so not used to being sick. But my son was in school, and he was always coming home with something. So I'm like, okay, it's just a cold. I'm gonna take whatever I gotta take, and I'm gonna get my ass on this plane, and I'm going. And when I got there, I got worse, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And came back home, and turned out that I had dang on pneumonia or something.
Right. But he was all messed up.
So we got to do a redo. We had one moment before it really kicked in.
It's true. We're gonna have a redo. Don't you worry.
It was so much fun. Not the one.
Even if I gotta max out a credit card for us to have a redo, we're gonna have a redo, okay? I don't give a damn about my credit score. I don't give a damn about my credit score. I love y'all more than my credit score. You hear that, Jones? I love you more than my credit score.
Redo reunion, yes. Reunion part 2.
But it was wonderful because, like, we had, like, built this relationship online, virtually, right? And then, you know, you just never really know. And then Grover had a show that he was DJing, doing a DJ set at, and we just invited them, and they were like, yeah, and I was like, for sure. And it was like, you know, months and months, of course, before, because we're prepping the show and doing all this stuff. And then, first of all, the fact that they actually came, that was like step number 1. I was like, oh my goodness, this is real. Like, we have real friends. We have real friends, you know, like, we are actually growing a legitimate friendship. And then, yeah, just literally, it just felt like home. Like, it was so easy. Like, there was no awkward, like, oh, hey, like,
yeah,
you know, like, oh, I'm Doña, oh, I'm pretty, you know what I mean? Like, we just grabbed each other. I was like, put your ish in the trunk, go sit in the back next to my baby, let's go.
Right, let's go.
It was
like instant, like lone lost. I can't say lone lost anything.
Yeah, but that's what it felt like, right?
Yeah, it's like family.
Joe said I had to convince Spud, but I was Look, when your money be funny, sometimes it needs a little convincing, okay? Sometimes it takes a little.
It wasn't just that. It was because I was sick, and I was like, well, I don't know what's going on. Like,
yeah.
I know my son constantly coming home with a runny nose and a cough, and I was like, I'm not used to being sick this much.
Right. Yeah, when in reality, your body was like, slow down, baby girl. Let
And
me
I
get.
was like,
Right. You're like,
She gave me the green light. I'm about to go.
slow down for what? Turn down for what?
Right.
Okay, my loves. We gonna have to wrap up this combo. I'm gonna put some links in the chat as my baby smushes my face. I
He's
don't
like,
even know.
let me look at you. Oh my gosh, that's such a boy thing. My
Right,
son is always picking stuff off my. I'm like,
sir.
did you get it? Did you get it? But I do him
Sir.
like that too. So I kind of
Right.
like, he's really into it.
He
He's
is.
like,
I don't know
hey,
what, sir. Sir,
let
can
me
I?
look at you. Let me see your lips, mom.
Right. Karu is still on his mission to have my face. Sir, you
Look,
already have my face. You're my child. We are. You have my face. I promise. Right. He said, "Give me that." All right. Check it out. We gonna put. We gonna put. I need y'all right now. Everybody in the chat. I need you to click this link. I need you to subscribe to Spuddy's YouTube channel. Do it immediately. I will find you if you don't. Okay.
immediately, please.
If you haven't, immediately, please. If you haven't done so already, I need you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's free, y'all. It's free. Just come on.
For free, free.
Right. He said, bet, find me. It's a rhetorical no.
Oh my goodness.
If you are in the chat, please drop a bye to DJ. We're not going just yet, but he popped back in. So if y'all can say bye to DJ, that'd be wonderful. Also, I need y'all to check out my merch. I actually need to show y'all my merch, but it's gonna take me a minute to get it up here. I'll show y'all tomorrow. Spuddy also, or Brittany also has merch. Bless you.
Bless you.
I don't know what kind of sneeze that was, but B has merch also on sale. What's your favorite social media platform, B? Which one do you like the most? You like your Instagram as well? Oh, that's true. Oh yeah. That's easy.
But
All right, so I need y'all to follow Spuddy here on Twitch.
Bless you and
All of her links are on. All right, Raylene, get ready for your lesson, boo. Have a great lesson.
bless you, child.
No, and see y'all. Bless you, child. I need y'all to follow Spuddy here on Twitch immediately.
You.
Do it now. Do it.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness gracious. Do it now.
This is a blessing to me.
All of her info, all of her links, all of her merch, everything is available on her Twitch.
It's a blessing to me.
It's a rhetorical follow.
Yes.
Perfect. Huh?
It's a blessing to me.
Yes, she said,
Yes.
he said
Oh,
bless you.
thank you, Raylene.
I know Fergie's already following. Raylene, if you haven't already, I think maybe Raylene might be
Thank
following.
you, Raylene.
I think that's it. Everybody else is like in our circle already. But anywho, we love y'all. Thank you for the chat. Thank you so much for, engaging in this conversation. Again, if you're catching this replay on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to Spuddy, a.k.a. Brittany's YouTube channel. Her link will be in the description of this video.
Be here at Apple Slicer.
Shh. And I believe this video will be going up on her channel too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Click on this subscribe button.
4:15 bedtime. Bye, Sir Rhetorical. Have a good night, day,
Yes,
morning.
good. Have
Goodbye.
a great
Well,
sleep.
goodbye there.
Yes. Go ahead and close this out, B. Go ahead and close this out.
You could.
Okay, so
You should. You should comment.
Shh. Go ahead, baby.
basically express your emotions because people are going to have their opinions about you, whether you are happy, sad, angry, mad. It really don't matter. But for your health and your sanity, express your emotions. Don't hold back for anybody. It's what makes you you. And if they can't accept you in all forms, they're not for you, and that's okay. We talked about that before too. You're not going to be for everybody. Everybody is not going to be for you, and that's okay because some people come with a lot of baggage. But we are trying to, spread like mental health awareness. Be in our true selves. Like be you. I promise it's gonna feel so much better. Less stress on your body, your mind, and you will start manifesting and uh, doing more things that you even thought was humanly possible for you. So that's big. Um, yes, I have merch, and I will now the streaming are sessions on Fridays. So I'll do the stream Friday morning and then I'll do my nighttime stream. So that's the
Yes.
thing. But I'm
Yes.
accepting clients. If you would like to chat with me, send me a whisper, like, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah,
Perfect.
Perfect.
Y'all better hire her. DJ, would you stop it? Life with a 6-year-old. All right, y'all. We love you. Me and B will be back next Friday. I will be back tomorrow. I'm gonna add a couple timers. And commands for you, Spuddy, so I could copy you in that
yeah,
boo.
I'm working that.
But we love y'all. We will see y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. I might be streaming later. We'll see. Who knows? But Spuddy will be streaming later. So if you haven't already, once again, give her a follow. Because she's going to be popping on stream and playing some super cozy games tonight, too. DJ, go ahead.
I'm
Bye,
gonna be
Spud.
playing the Sims tonight. Bye, baby. Bye, DJ.
She said bye.
Um. Oh, he wanted me to do it in the chat, didn't he?
Probably.
It's not
Yeah.
real unless I do it in the chat.
Oh, this child. Goodness gracious.
Goodness.
So I'll
See
be
you
playing the
later,
Sims
DJ.
tonight. But we won't be doing Sims
Bye,
after
guys.
dark today, even though I want to because it's Friday the 13th.
Bye, Jones.
But
Nice bud.
we shedding some stress. So I'm cutting my hair today. I'm cutting it.
I can't wait. Can't
So
wait.
maybe y'all get to see the new dude tonight. Who
I'm
knows?
excited. Shh. Yes.
Texted on.
Yes, I know, buddy. All right, my loves. Peace for now. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bye.
Spuddy, you ain't got to go, but I'm in stream.
Well, bye, Jones.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all.